Let's get straight to the point this week. Special provision with respect to the state of Nagaland. Point number 1. Notwithstanding anything in this constitution. Subsection A. No act of parliament in respect of. Point 1. Religious or social practices of the Nagas. Point 2. Naga customary law and procedure. Point 3. Administration of civil and criminal justice involving decisions according to Naga customary laws. Point 4. Ownership and transfer of land and its resources shall apply to the state of Nagaland unless the Legislative Assembly of Nagaland by a resolution so decides. Subsection B. The Governor of Nagaland shall have special responsibility with respect to law and order in the state of Nagaland for so long as in his opinion internal disturbances occurring in the Naga Hills Twensang area immediately before the formation of the state continue therein or in any part thereof, and in the discharge of his functions in relation thereto, the Governor shall, after consulting the Council of Ministers, exercise his individual judgment as to the action to be taken. Caught any of that? No? Good. Now let us explain. What you just heard was Article 371A of the Indian Constitution, a special provision for the state of Nagaland. At least in principle, it sounds like something that aims to protect Nagaland, right? I'm Kalyan Deb, and in this episode of Decoded, we look at why some Nagaland leaders are questioning Article 371A and what they could learn from Sikkim. Pursuing for months.
Poor village of Assam.
In the 75th Independence Day.
Not unless you closely followed the latest Nagaland Legislative Assembly session. Wait, what? Follow assembly sessions? Okay, we know you have a life. Please ignore the disturbance. But boy, was it an interesting session. For once, the Chief Minister of the state, I repeat, the CM, acknowledged in the assembly that the Kohima-Dimapur 4-lane road may never be completed. The way Rio said it, it almost seemed like he would be sad if the project did complete. But what compelled the CM to make such a damning statement about such a crucial project? In one word, abject frustration. This project goes back to 2003. 2003, people, when Ganguly was our cricket captain. We were still listening to Atal Bihari Vajpayee's poems, and when mobile phones still cost a lot to own and even more to use. A road project, while challenging, is not even close to, say, building a dam. Why has a simple road project taken so much time and yet remains stuck? While several reasons were listed, and you can read our story for all the information, the link to which is in the description section, one thing struck out. Rio said Article 371A, which states that the land belongs to the people, can uphold all development activities, which is not a good sign for the community. He went on to say that individual landowners should be convinced not to prevent developmental activities from taking place. The fact that Rio chose to highlight Article 371A and the challenges it was presenting, at least in terms of development projects, seemed to indicate that individuals were holding the state government hostage to their whims and fancies. This does not augur well for a state like Nagaland, which lags behind mainland India and even some northeastern states across several parameters. But this was not all. A day after Rio surrendered, Naga People's Front leader Kuzholuzo Nienu, while urging for the resumption of petroleum exploration in Nagaland, also blamed Article 371A. He said the special status that Nagaland enjoys under Article 371A has led to conflicts between landowners, civil societies, the state government, all companies and even the government of India. In 2 days, two leaders from two different parties flatly blamed Article 371A for their deficiencies. It is no secret that while both projects are important for the state, India's compensation paying history is far from stellar. Go to any dam site, for example, and you will hear of several families who never received compensation or barely received any. In such an event, it is not unexpected that some citizens are going to be more weary than others when it comes to parting with their land. Take oil exploration, for example. Is the NPF leader truly surprised that some people and civil society organizations have expressed concerns about digging for oil, it is no secret that such projects would mean the destruction of forests and nature, which indigenous people value much more than others. At a time when everyone is realizing the impact of climate change and the need to preserve our forests, why should people not prefer saving forests over destroying them for resources? One can only speculate why the two leaders decided to target Article 371A when even they accepted that there are bigger problems to solve. Elections are almost here, but both Rio and Nienu are too politically experienced to suggest any change in Article 371A because that would be nothing short of a harakiri. But one can safely say that this is the first time that such senior political veterans are questioning an article of the Constitution so dear to the state and its aspirations. Maybe they could learn from Sikkim? A few weeks ago, a rather unique protest took place at the Jantar Mantar, India's protest capital in Delhi. Now, that itself is not news, but the nature of the protest was. Two Biharis who had been living in Sikkim sat to protest against Article 371F, which they said discriminated against them and made them feel like second-class citizens. The two spoke about the existence of a uniform civil code in the country, questioning the existence of Article 371F, and went on to allege how they, along with other Bihari residents, were being mistreated by Sikkimese people under the pretext of Article 371F. In no time, Sikkim residents reacted strongly to these claims. But such is the strength of Article 371F that even Biharis residing in Sikkim came out to call the Jantar Mantar protests drama. Lower MG Marg Ward Councillor Ashok Prasad, along with various Bihari organizations and individuals, termed the dharna in Jantar Mantar as drama. Addressing the media, Prasad stated, Biharis in Sikkim are unaware about the intent of the protest or who all are involved in the act. These unknown forces are making the Bihari community a scapegoat and trying to disturb the peace in Sikkim. It would be better if we place the portrait of erstwhile Chogyal of Sikkim in government offices as a mark of respect for the old laws framed by the former king. The Sikkim leaders were equally clear about any questions over Article 371F. The spokesperson for the ruling Sikkim Krantikari Morcha party, Jacob Khaling, cleared the air on the Sikkim government's silence on the Jantar Mantar protest and the rather sensitive issue of Sikkim's special status vis-a-vis Article 371F. He said that it was to avoid national attention and unnecessary flock. In short, do not pay attention because there is nothing to pay attention to. Footballer turned politician and Hamro Sikkim party chief, Baichung Bhutia, went a step further, asserting that the inner line permit is the only solution to protect Sikkim as well as safeguard Article 371F. So while Sikkim is unanimous from top to bottom when it comes to a special provision of the constitution, Nagaland seems to be going a slightly different way, and politicians are now blaming Article 371A for project failures. Does the Nagaland government want a system where local voices and disagreements are not important? Only time will tell.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to EastMojo. For any queries, put them down in the comments section below and press on the bell icon for notifications.